Hey, how you doing? It is Dan McDonald, and I'm the Life Regenerator here on YouTube. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate all of your love and your support. I just wanted to address a few things and send some love and inspiration out into the world. After I wake up in the morning and meditate and do yoga, then what I do is I usually skim the emails for emergencies. There happened to be an emergency this morning. There usually is. And I just wanted to address some of the things that I think that people can do in this world to help them to improve their health. You know, without getting too much on the downer side, there's kind of a conspiracy almost to, keep you from experiencing real health and the freedom that comes with that. And I'm not talking about just bodily health or muscles, but I'm talking about like not only a body that's functioning very well, but also calm and balanced emotional poise and centering, as well as a calm and peaceful, well-balanced, open mind. And so one of the things that I've been specializing in, as you probably know, is the food. But of course, I've always done my best to address as many of the other issues as possible. And, I've always been focused on the love. And my honest, assessment is that this love has not been perfected inside, as I find myself getting resentful or angry or wanting to get even at certain times. When I do notice that, though, what I do is I will pray for that person who I feel like angry towards or resentful, and I will send them lots of love and success. And that really helps. And I've noticed that it keeps getting softer and softer. And the more that I'm able to let go of the need to be right or the desire to get even, I find that I'm able to love myself more and accept myself more. That's been something that's been very challenging for me, and that's why I continue to keep my heart open and my mind open, and I try to be really gentle with everyone as far as the path to health. Many times it's not so much about the food that we eat, but how we eat it, why we're eating it, in what state of mind we're eating it. That's one of the keys that I think that gets overlooked. Eating because you're stressed out or emotionally distraught is one of the worst things that you can do, because then you're just redigesting those emotions. So one of the lines that always sticks out in my head that I've had to learn to live by is to never eat when the spirit is vexed. So in other words, don't eat when you're having a bad vibe, and that can take some discipline, because a lot of us do rely on food as love. But as you get more committed to your health and your spiritual awakening, you will find that that's no more unacceptable to be able to do that in a state of awareness, because if you're angry or distraught and you go right for the donuts, or even with the raw foods, you can do it. You can do it with fruit. It doesn't work as well. I mean, donuts, candy bars, high fat cooked foods, even starchy carbohydrates work really well. Pancakes with butter and syrup was literally a drug for me for many years. And so I would get stressed out and I would eat the pancakes and the butter and the syrup, and it was a temporary, when you get that much sugar in your blood, it kind of knocks you out. Plus the wheat gluten is also very sedating. And the butter, of course, is smooth and rich and creamy. And I'm not talking about a little pat of butter here. I'm talking about like quarter pound of butter, you know, on like a 3 flapjacks or something at IHOP or whatever. But, you know, after a while, as I've evolved, you know, in this process, which I do for myself, but I also do it for you, because to honor the viewers, to honor you as a viewer here, to continue to evolve, not just get up here and make videos and you know, create an income through these YouTube videos as well, but to actually literally live this lifestyle, because I know that you're not stupid. You will see through the cracks. So if anything, it'd be really great if you saw that I've always done my very best. Now, that still doesn't negate a lot of the criticalness that I adopted in my mind. So I'm hoping to, through my own experience, share that this mind still criticizes this Dan, you know, that it picked up along the way, I think, you know, from family and society as well. So the path of self-acceptance is something that I'm right in the middle of it. I'm on fire with that, really looking at myself, dropping my shoulders, accepting all these things that are taking place in my life, and accepting myself for who I am, not comparing myself to this guy, not comparing myself to that person, but just like being who I am, everything I've been through that leads up to this now, that makes me who I am. And really just going into that center point, which is like an unlimited source of power and my true divine nature. And then on top of that unlimited creative force is like what we call in the spiritual world like programs and belief systems, which create like filters of perception. And then this is good and this is bad. Well, if it's good, then we allow certain energies and hormones and neurotransmitters. But then when it's bad and something that we have been taught is bad, then we shut down and close off. What's up, babe?
Are you making a video?
Yes, I am.
Wow, it's really peaceful in here.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm ready to go soon.
Okay, cool. Well, I was talking about an emergency situation, which I haven't gotten around to, but I'll be right with you. Okay? So anyways, well, this is in regards to that emergency situation. Not that the health condition matters, that it's diabetes, amputation, and then somebody's like, now they're ready to wake up. See what I mean? So my videos that I make here are to sort of say, yo, hey, you know, make some green juice, eat more fruits and vegetables, learn to love yourself, take care of yourself, honor yourself. It's like, I know it's not that easy. And it's like, well, that food tastes like crap. That's because we've allowed ourselves to be overrun by bacteria, viruses, and parasites in this country. A lot of it comes from the sugar. A lot of it comes from the overconsumption of meat and animal products. A lot of it comes from the fermentation of the bad food combinations. The more simple that you eat, the better off you're gonna be. 2 or 3 kinds of food in one meal. The best, most satisfying meals are the ones that are simple and nourishing. That's for me. That's the work that I've done over these years. Yeah, at first it was all about these fancy raw food recipes because I was coming off the standard American bodybuilding diet, which basically includes anything. But there were times like when you'd be cutting up or something that you'd just eat tuna fish. So at least I built that discipline, you know, and I have that more than most people actually. Like, yeah, definitely more than most people. They'll, you know, I make a lot of food for people and they're like, oh, whatever, you know, and it's all raw and everything, but it's like, I don't necessarily want that, but they don't want what I have because it's very bland for the most part. Like, I like the taste of lettuce and I like to taste the carrots. And when your mouth gets clean from the juicing and the fasting then you just relish the simplicity of the foods, and plus you feel good after you ate. So many times we'll eat a meal and it's like you just don't even feel good. It takes like 2 or 3 hours to digest before you get feeling decent again. And if you have that situation, you know you need to clean things up. So I'm encouraging people to really relish the simplicity and learn to train yourself. You have to earn your stripes. You know, maybe you can't even, if you're a woman, you can't even do 1 push-up, but your goal is to do like 20. You can do it. Maybe you can't do 20 push-ups today, but you can do 1 push-up every day. And once you've mastered the 1, then you add another 1, and then you master 2 and own that, and then you do 3, and you might even go from like 3 to 6 all of a sudden because everything's building up. And then you master 6, and you own 6. And then you own 8, and then you own 10, and then you own 15, and you're a woman that at one time you could only do 1 push-up, and now 3 months later you can do 15, and then you keep working, and eventually you get to 20, and you own 20, and in your mind and in your muscles you know you can do 20 push-ups. Well, you've earned your stripes, and it took you maybe 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it takes for you to develop those skills. And the same thing with the diet. Work out those muscles. You go ahead, I was raw for 3 weeks, Dan, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. The holidays came and I went on a snapper binger, you know, and just ate everything in sight. And all your old habits and stuff came back. Well, just all I want you to do is pay attention during that time and learn from it. We all have this amazing process that's taking place. And you want to, you know, make sure that you're paying attention and you're learning and you're building the foundation for evolution and growth, whether it's in your diet, your spiritual practice, your relationships, or your finances. Whatever muscles you need to work, keep working at it. You know, put another brick on the road to success today by drinking a juice. But these eating habits that people have gotten themselves into in these disease conditions, that's why one of the reasons why I'm glad I started making these videos. I had no idea what it was. It was really fun, and when I started I was with Krista and we were like, hey man, maybe we can make some money out of this, because we spent a lot of money on you know, internet marketing and stuff, and we just weren't getting anywhere. We made a few websites, and then this YouTube thing just was like, oh my god, this could be it. And it was so much fun for me, and we started to do better financially, and it was like, right on, dude, you know. And now I see that it's much more than finances, or even the fact that it's a bit of an art and a hobby for me. But it's become this thing where it's like, wow, I can really serve, because I'm a total fanatic when it comes to getting to the next level of illumination through the path of health. And it's a whole holistic approach, which is pretty darn amazing, actually. Yeah, it's pretty darn amazing. As far as in regards to fasting and things, I've gotten a lot more quiet about that because of all the detractors and the sacredness of my own journey. So I kind of want to apologize to you that I don't share myself the way I used to. I really want to get back to that vulnerability, and I think that I'm building myself back into that. But there's been a lot of, like, people will take stuff I say, chop it up, make weird videos, and you know, he has an eating disorder. Well, it's like, okay, then I think to myself, well, wait a minute, did Jesus have an eating disorder? Did Moses have an eating disorder? You know, fasting is actually just something that a lot of people don't understand. But it's one of my favorite things to do, and it's a part of my present life, and it's a part of my future. And there's also this art and this science of regenerating the gut where the memories take place, you see, and taking this regeneration as far as possible. You know, I had strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, strike 4, as far as being where I was born, and then what happened after I was born, and then the childhood that I had, and then the drugs that I used to medicate myself from all the pain, and then coming out of that, and all the different things that I did because I didn't have a lot of self-love. I got myself into a bit of a pickle, and I really like destroyed myself, you know, with the bodybuilding, and also with the drugs and the emotions that were stagnant, the fear and the shame and the guilt and the anger and the desire to get even. And so working on this whole process of trying to release myself and get free so that I don't need anybody to like me, or I don't need approval, or I can just totally deflect any kind of negativity because I can see that that's simply coming from the other person. Learning to love those that hate me, and learning to love those that put those comments that affect me because I have my own self-criticism, and they may or may not be aware that I judge myself, and then they judge me, and it's a double whammy. So really learning to love and accept ourselves at depth. I know it sounds great, right? Should be so easy, but it does seem to be a bit of a process. And I want to encourage everyone to go down that process, because then, and only then, because I've worked with thousands of people over the last many years, and I know some of them are going to make it and some of them aren't. And the ones that do are the ones that love and appreciate life, you know, and their self. And sometimes facing death wakes them up, or losing their legs. Like if you get into the diabetes because of the mineral deficiencies and the excesses of the starches and the carbohydrates, then and the doctors want to amputate your legs, you can turn that around, see, but they don't know how to do that. But as a raw food healer, educator, I've seen it done before right in front of my very eyes, you know. And so you need to purify the blood and get more oxygen, and you need to quit eating those foods which we have been programmed and habituated to eat. And then we've created the fermentation, the candida, the viruses, and the bacteria, which affect our eating habits, the acid conditions, and the deficiencies that are taking place. So we're kind of eating ourselves into starvation, because that's why I'm focusing on nutrient density as opposed to like calorie-nutrient ratios. That I'm not interested in the macronutrients as much as I am in the micronutrients that allow the body to have a synergy as far as the brain, the nerves, the hydration, the electricity, the conductivity, minerals, essential fats, vitamins in a full, well-rounded, easily absorbable form. And that's the issue with a lot of people, is that they're just not absorbing their food, because the rumors going around that there's no such thing as mucoid plaque. But every healer that's worth its salt, and anyone that's gone down this road, knows that there is hardened layers of mucus that get trapped deep within the body, that were set up as a protective mechanism from the onslaught of foreign matter. One thing I believe in is that living cells in your body is composed of living cells, and that living cells recognize other living cells as a source, as an external source of more life. And when we take a lot of the dead foods, that I call it, and we add that to a living organism, the living organism and the vitality flowing through the nervous system is inhibited, because a lot of that nerve energy, which would be used for healing and health and happiness and creativity, is always being constantly used up by the stomach because of the food choices that are being made in the modern world. And so I'm recommending that people learn how to clean out the GI tract. One of the things that you can use is fruit. And you can also use bowel cleansing herbs. Colonics are good, but colonics don't get into the small intestine, where I believe a vast majority of the problems are taking place. The inflammation, the leaky gut, and the mucoid plaquing that's clogging up the absorption of nutrients. So people are so hungry. And not only are the foods nutrient deficient, just from the soils and the processing, and the shipped from a week ago, food loses its power. Minerals are intact, but the delivery mechanisms from the living water and the essential oils in the foods get diminished. You see what I mean? So the fresher the food, the better the mood, is what my friend KRS-One said on one of my videos way back. I don't know if you remember the KRS-One video, but he, you know, I was like, yo, what up, KRS-One? He's like, I was like, you want to do a video, bro? He's like, yeah, food is mood, you know? And he was rapping a little bit, it was cool. But the fresher the food, the better the mood. So, because it has that electricity, which enhances the utilization of nutrients. So that's why I do the juicing. You know, the juicing, even if for the people, that's why I recommend the daily juicing habit for everybody, especially with the herbs, using the fruits like apples and carrots to sweeten, and then using those herbs in small quantities at first to start the process of chlorophyll, neutralization of the you know, viruses, bacteria, and the putrefaction taking place, protein putrefaction, carbohydrate fermentation, and the cooked fats, which create a lot of lipid stagnation, which is more like a plugger. So the cooked fat plugs everything, but the raw fat is emulsified easily in water, especially if you have a healthy gallbladder like I do. A lot of people don't have a healthy gallbladder, so they don't digest fat well, and they blame fat. But what they need to do is supplement with some minerals and get that gallbladder functioning well by, you can take a break from and go on a no-fat diet for a week, and then you hit it hard with a couple avocados on your salad and get that gallbladder squeezed, and then you pull out and do that again 2 weeks, and then you have a couple more avocados or some olive oil or some hemp oil, and then you get that gallbladder, you sit it there, and then you hit the gallbladder hard, and it starts to get you work the gallbladder like a muscle, just like you work the pancreas like a muscle. You can do like low glycemic green juice for a week and no sugar, which people hate. But your body actually adjusts and you get really calm on the green juices, but then you give the pancreas a real nice break, then you hit it hard with a nice fruit juice. So you can learn how to actually, and I've done all this because, so I've got this part of my body is the area that I've mastered. I'm learning to master the heart with love, and then the mind is, the heart and the mind are my areas of growth right now, where I'm really learning how to grow and expand in those areas. But you can work out your pancreas, and you use it like a muscle. That's why I got the good digestion. That's why I'm able to eat a more balanced diet than a lot of the other raw fooders who haven't really shored up their deficiencies. So they say this is the right diet or this is the right diet because their personal experience doesn't allow them to digest fat because of the gallbladder, and which is partially a mineral deficiency, as well as the pancreas. They say, I can't digest sugars, so they have to stay off the sugars. Then there's other people that can't digest protein, and so they don't digest protein. Well, another thing is you got to soak the seeds, because the seeds in the fruits are actually sprouted. See what I'm saying? And when you have those dried seeds like almonds or sunflower seeds, you have to soak those and reactivate them. But try to always get fruit with the seeds, because that's where the power is. The fruit with the seeds is a complete and balanced food, but the hybridized fruit without seeds in it can lead to imbalances, which we see all the time in the raw vegan movement. Is a lot of imbalances, too much sugar and not enough of the herbs, and then long term we can see the fatty acid deficiencies. And if we want to really live that raw vegan way, or just the vegan way, we want to do it right. We don't want to be like Pepsi's and Frito vegan, you know what I mean? Because then you're just, people look at you like, and you're all skinny and wasted, and your skin is all weird, and you're pale and gangly because you drink, I'm a vegan, you know, and you drink Fritos and Pepsi, and it's like, okay, whatever, dude. I don't want to listen to a damn thing you have to say. So that's a bad vibe for that, you know? So if you're going to be a vegan, you want to be healthy. So you got to do it with a real intelligent approach, because there's some things that happen, as I've studied many, many books and found out the deficiencies that can take place on this end, on this end, and this end due to extremism. So I want to recommend against that. And I've been thriving real well, super balanced, on a more diversified diet. I still slam juice like it's nobody's business, you know, every day. I slam a lot of juice. Yesterday I had, 3 jars of lemon ginger blast, and then I had a blueberry banana coconut smoothie, and then I had that salad at night with the cabbage and the carrots. So I had coconut fat, hemp fat, and avocado fat in the same day, and I'd feel great, but it was done in a way that was like, you know, it's spaced out. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about, was that just try to create more space between your meals, as well as simplifying your meals. Let me see I gotta look at the timer on this thing to make sure where I'm at, okay? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that that I don't lose you before I get a chance to say goodbye and tell you how much I appreciate you, you know? So I'll do that now because I've got about 4 minutes. I like to take these to the end, the 30-minute videos where these little tidbits come through, and this inspiration, this calming, peaceful, loving energy that I've been blessed with recently. Not recently, it's always been in there, but I'm working on my brain and nervous system right now to heal and regenerate myself at the deepest levels. Maybe one of these days I'll get into it, but like I said, with all the detractors and stuff, I don't want them cutting stuff up and making all this crap up so they can try to bring me down, because people are always going to bring down people like you and me. They're going to try, because we're going to rise up not only in health and love and spiritual illumination and a healthy, happy mind. You see what I mean? And many people can't achieve that because they don't know how, and they're not willing to do the work. So they're going to want to drag you down when they see that you are skyrocketing to success by being integrity, by being true to yourself, being honest and real. And that's the true foundation of success, because it'll crumble if you don't do that. And so that's why I feel like everything's going really, really well for me. Although what's interesting, I'll tell you this as a friend, you know, is I haven't even really started yet. I'm still working on me. And one of these days, I know that I will complete this process, which is not very well understood process. But now that I'm in it to win it, I've given up everything. The only thing that I do now is sometimes I overeat, or I use food to medicate myself. It's all raw food, but I'm learning how to not do that too, for the sake of my long-term vision. Because I really, really want to be the best I can be, not only for myself to reach my potential, but also for you. It's very important to me to be the best example that I can be in this world for the people who are on drugs or in the hospital, gonna get their legs cut off, or get their heart cut open, or get their gallbladder cut out, or get brain surgery, all because there was a few things you could have done, you know, to change your lifestyle. So I'm recommending that we do these things now. We start with the daily juicing habit. We go to the store, we start finding what fruits and vegetables we like. We start getting savvy on organic. We look around, is there any local food? Maybe we start a garden. Maybe we go out and stand barefoot in the sun and do some sun gazing in the morning or in the evening and watch the sunset. Maybe we start walking a little bit more, forgiving others, serving others more, drinking more juice, eating more salad, slowly but surely working ourselves into that place where we are working towards our potential, because I want you to have your purpose come to life so that you can wake up every morning like I do and just know that you've got to check the emails and make a video and have a great day and do the best you can because you have a purpose. Okay? So any moment now this video camera is going to shut off, but I want to encourage everyone, before you end up in the hospital, before you end up with a death sentence, you know, take care of yourself. Okay? So give this video a thumbs up, because I really like that. It's just it's my way of feeling loved, and I'm still in that place. I'm trying to release that and just do this service without any hope of compensation, whether that's financial or verbal or whatnot. But I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, because You loving me is good for you. You telling me that you love me below on these video comments is